Jillian. Okay. It is 1:15 exactly. Welcome to the transmission of the Divine Woman. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, let me see if I can set this up. How is my audio? Is it okay? Just double checking. I haven't done a live on my phone in a while, and I have taken my phone into the water. Like, I actually go swimming with my phone, so it's good. Audio is good. Good. The music is good. Okay. All right. Let me grab my tools. I'm going to grab my crystal. I'm going to grab my candle and my sage, and we're going to open a portal, and I'm going to channel some energy for you, and we're going to talk and have a conversation about reclaiming energy, reclaiming cords, reclaiming ideas that tend to steal away from your ability to just own your power and be centered in your power and be confident and be able to hold a really quiet, centered place during sales conversations or any kind of negotiations you need to do, or really not letting other people's energy affect you and being really sovereign in your energy as much as you can. And then I'll read energy. If you guys don't know me, most of you know me, but I have been doing this work for over 15 years, and I can go up into streams of light, go down into your space and read your energy by going into your energy to see what's going on, and then invite you to release and just clear what needs to be cleared up, or I'll see things that maybe you have known or you have felt, but you just haven't been able to put your finger on it. And when someone else kind of says it, like tells you about it, you can feel like, oh yeah, I get it now. So I'm just gonna check on Facebook if I can see comments. Perfect. Okay, awesome. Let me grab my crystal. So I have this quartz from Switzerland. It was given to me by a shaman in the Swiss Alps way back in, like, I think it was 2009 when I started doing this work with the angelic realm. So we're going to use a crystal. If you have one, grab it. We might do some work today where you might want to pull over if you're driving, or watch the replay and do it with us when you can be home. Yeah? I feel like I'm getting my whole spiritual office moved over there. 1 second. Okay, let's see. All right. Yay. Thanks for joining us, ladies. So this is very much for women who want to invite more divine spiritual answers and guidance into their lives and businesses. If you're a man watching, you can hang out. Just let us know you're here. And if you're new to my page, say hi. I'm Alixe. I live in the south of France. And you're safe to bring anything you want to bring to this circle, to this sacred space. So, yeah, let's see. We're going to do a little bit of like talking conversation. You can chime in the comments. We're going to do maybe even some card. I'm going to pull some cards. And we have some sage too. Burn the energy, cut the cords. The goal of today is any pieces of you that you've scattered around relationships and people and places where you've given your power to, we're going to call them back. Center them back into your heart and set some beautiful intentions for the new year. All right, let me give you the theme for today. So this is code 1 of probably 3 codes. So I'm going to go live in the next week or two a couple times to sort of anchor into the divine woman. And what energies of the divine woman you might want to tap into as well for yourself. So today is the energetic way to release the fear of rejection in sales and business and reclaim your innate power and confidence. Okay. All right. I'm not used to doing this on Facebook directly, so I feel a little bit wobbly, but we'll tune in. So what does that mean to reclaim your energy? So a lot of times when I'm talking to sisters and clients who want to put themselves out there and they want to share their energy with the world and they want to maybe share an offer and they want to get behind the offer and they really want to align to believing in the offer, a lot of times what gets in the way is this little part in them that's like, but I'm afraid. And it won't show up as that. The first layer, and you guys, if you want to do it with me, we can do it together. The first layer of the fear of rejection is not going to be an actual evident fear. It's going to sound more like, I don't know how much to charge. I don't know what to call my program. Oh, what if no one shows up? I'm busy. I don't have time. I don't have the energy. The fear of rejection isn't going to feel so evident. It's going to come up more like noise around your business and your offer. It's going to come up like, I'm tired, or you know what I mean? Does that resonate with anyone? As I light this beautiful candle, and then you might have valid thoughts like, but I really should know my prices. I really should know the name of my program. I really should know what I'm talking about before I go live. I really, really should. I really, really should. But really, it's your programming around, but they'll reject me if I make an offer. They won't say yes. They might say no. That actually could just keep you from taking action. Yeah? Okay. So the way you can find that part is just simply to really decide, hey, I allow myself to launch an offer. I allow myself to sell something this week. I allow myself to call in new clients. And if you hear any like oppositions, like, yeah, but what if? And it's kind of noisy, then you want to tune into that and sort of feel if you're potentially giving like the fear of lacking approval, the jar of approval to the person or the people who are potentially not going to like your offer, right? So let's tune into that rejection wound, like the sense of like, but I could be rejected. And the way that you can sort of talk yourself through that, we'll talk through it and then we'll do some energy work around it. But it's realizing deeply, deeply that there's like a really potent, powerful bridge between you and other people. And most people who want to come towards you, they're just looking to come towards you through this really easy pathway. They want to experience your energy, they want to experience your offer, and the bridge and the pathway from them to you can be filled with really beautiful energy and intention and love. And what opens the door between you and other people coming in to accept you and approve of you and your offer is if you can already emit and offer an energy of approval. So it's like a frequency, yeah? So this is what I wish people had taught me when I was much younger, when I started out. But it's like, if I'm in this self-loving approval place, and I already have so much gratitude and certainty that my jar of approval, my glass jar of approval that's innate, that's in me, is already filled to the brim with so much approval. And I'll show you how to find it in a minute and how to get it filled up. Then that creates the pathway and the bridge for other people to feel really this ease and this comfort to walk in towards you, to feel invited into your energy and to want to read, see, feel what you're going to do. Leave me a little emoji if this sort of starts to feel like you can vibe with that. So it's in your power to suck your feelers back in from people and situations that didn't feel like they really were validating you. So think of people today who, or situations in the past where you're like, they didn't really give me any love and approval. I didn't really feel love and approval. Can you think of somebody who maybe you feel like disapproves of you, doesn't really get what you do, what you want to do? Just noticing if anyone is joining Zoom. Yeah. And what we're going to do is, if you think of anyone that you potentially gave this desire, like this jar of approval to them. So, you know, we grew up thinking love comes from our parents, and love comes from our friends, and love comes from and through the people in our lives. And then if they get mad at us, if they disapprove of us, then there's a sense of like, loss and emptiness, and I lost my source of love and approval. It's now outside of me, and if they don't approve of me, if I make a mistake, if I'm not perfect, they'll take it away. Yeah? So that's another layer. When you think about, I allow myself to have success in this creative endeavor, to have a business, there's the fear of rejection, but there's the fear I won't be good enough, I won't be perfect. Yeah? So notice that in your body, and just breathe. Like if I say anything that's triggering today, you want to just notice it, breathe, put a pin on it, because we're going to dive deeper into it. The path of the divine woman is a woman who no longer needs any approval from the world. Now, she still gets a lot of it on a daily basis. Her jar of approval is filled up through people and experiences, but she's no longer attached to like the clinging and the needing approval. The illusion that her jar of approval could ever be emptied is no longer relevant. There's like now this certainty. Feel that in your body. If you could walk into a room, you could be on the frequency of acceptance and approval for yourself, like for the choices you're making, for who you're being, and it keeps you on the frequency of approval throughout. So if I'm tuning onto radio 95.5 and I'm pulling in that frequency, I'm listening to the songs on that frequency, I'm locked in, I'm getting the type of music that's playing on that radio. Yeah? If I can hold the frequency of acceptance and approval in my body, and I know when I lose it, like when I'm a little bit wobbly, and I know how to get back into it, then everywhere I go, anywhere you would go, there's just more and more of the same frequency, the same songs playing. Yeah? Okay. How does that feel? Because it's not so much your prices, it's not so much the name of your offers, it's not so much where to start in your business. Like if you struggle with, oh, I don't know. It's starting with like this, I don't need approval behind my offer or my business. I'm not launching this offer. I'm not trying to help people because I need approval. I'm filled up with it. Yeah. So let's do a quick meditation. I'm going to walk you through this. If you're driving, you might want to keep your eyes open. If you can't do this right now, come back to it in a minute. But a lot of times behind our actions, behind our to-do lists, is a true innate need for approval. It's like, I just need acceptance. I need safety. I need approval. Now, it's very normal to want to do things to get love and approval because it's what we were taught. You know, it's what we were taught. Most of us probably grew up in homes where love and approval was conditional, and we lived under sort of the umbrella of, you know, if I do A, I'm going to get to B. Like if I just need more of B, I'll do more of A and it will get me more B. Now, if this was true, we would all be super successful. Like if working harder would get us more love and approval and safety, we'd all be there because you all work really, really hard, right? So it's more that there's a leap into the woman who always has that filled up to the brim, no matter what. Do you see the different thing? It's not, let me do more on the earth plane to get to a point. Because probably if most of you wrote a list of everything you've done in the last 5 years or 10 years, Like for some of you, I know you, I've known you for a long time. Like you've done it all. You've compromised, you've studied, you've taken the courses, you've done all the practice, you've done everything you knew that you could do to get to that outcome. And if you still feel like it's not available, if you still feel like, hey, it's still not there, then lean into this. Lean into the divine woman way is you're going to do less to get more, which I know is counterintuitive. It's more that you're going to lean more into feeling and into aligning and into scripting and using the power of your voice and the words and the energy we're going to do today versus let me hustle more, let me do more. Yeah? I wrote that down on my notes. Let me see if I can pull it up. I had a quotable. Yeah, the divine woman codes that you don't have to live in the divine woman codes all day, but when you do 5D and you do energy work before you do the earthly work, you'll get further faster. So this isn't where you apply twice as much as yourself. This is where you actually sort of pause and listen twice as much before you take action. You listen, you visualize, you feel, you call things in through your heart and like just your desires. So I'll tell you a quick story because this keeps popping in my head. But when I started out as a certified angel therapy practitioner, I had very little business training. I had no business training actually. And I only really had the innocence of, I want to share angel therapy and meditations with my tribe. And at the time I lived in Las Vegas and I also lived in Europe. I was kind of back and forth trying to find my way. And I was walking around this brand new, super beautiful Whole Foods on Las Vegas Boulevard, which is the one main boulevard where all the casinos are. I don't know if you guys know about Las Vegas. It's got lots of casinos, but it's on one street, one big boulevard. And this was brand new. They had this whole shopping center and I just went in there to get some food and there was this juice bar. And I just had the thought of like, could you imagine if I brought light work to Las Vegas on Las Vegas Boulevard? Like, could you imagine? And I believe this was in October. And then I keep going. I go travel through Switzerland. I go to Switzerland to visit my sister for 3 months. And I work there a little bit. And I get this crystal given to me by a shaman who was like, I'm just felt guided to give you this beautiful crystal from the mountains. And then I receive my spiritual name at the time through a meditation, which was Daniel Dove. And then I fly back home. I go, I think I need to come back home to Vegas. And on the day I'm back, it's Earth Hour on Las Vegas Boulevard. And throughout this whole few months, I'm listening to my intuition. I'm tuning in, I'm tuning my antenna, I'm meditating, I'm in devotion, I'm practicing all my tools, I'm doing a little bit of angel readings over the phone, but I'm continuing to believe in my business. I'm continuing to script, I'm continuing to double down on this sort of energetic, invisible outcome that I'm continuing to entertain. It's like being pregnant with a baby and you're like, well, we don't have evidence of the baby yet. But there's a belief, there's faith. Of course, you can go get, you can go see your baby through, why am I not thinking of the word? When you go look at your baby through a camera, echo? I don't know, I'm thinking of it in French. So there's no real yet tangible evidence of the thing you desire, but you still believe in it. And that's really important to believe in it before there's evidence. And I truly believe that what makes this divine woman code so potent, so powerful, so unstoppable is that it doesn't need external validation to work before it works. It's like the blind faith of, Edison when he created the light bulb, or Disney when he kept going to banks 30 some times before he could get a loan. It's like the blind faith that's like there's a certainty in our heart. There's this deep knowing that we're doing this and this is where we're going next and we're aligned and, this is what's happening, and there's this claircognizance. So in a more intuitive term, claircognizance is where you clearly know. And you might have been in sessions with clients where you're like, I clearly know this is what's going on. Like, I see it, I feel it, I know it. And when you speak it, if you have the capacity to speak it, then the person can say, yes, that's it. Now, if there's a fear of lacking approval, you're going to hold back your intuitive ability. You're going to hold yourself back and be like, I can't say that to them. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. So then the ego and the mind comes back and is in the way of the ultimate truth. Yeah? So we'll meditate in a minute. Let me finish the story and then we'll do the meditation. So I fly back to Vegas. I fly into LA, into Los Angeles. My friend Farah picks me up and she's like, let's go to Vegas together. I'll drive you back to Las Vegas. So we drive back to Vegas. It's Earth Hour. Some of you have heard this story before. And we find out that on Earth Hour, that particular year, it must have been 2009, 2010, one of those years, the entire strip was turning off their lights for Earth Hour for an hour. So we're like, we gotta go to the strip, let's go. So we drove there, we parked, and we were running around like crazy little fairies because we're like, is this so cool? We've never seen the strip completely turned off, like with almost no lights. It was insane. It was so fun. And we hear people drumming, like with these like belly dancing drums and all of that. And we go right to them. And I meet a woman who became one of my best friends, Jada Fire. And Farah, my friend, said, Daniel Dove, at the time was my name, does these beautiful angel meditations. And Jada said, you should come teach at my studio. And her studio happened to be the brand new studio that she opened inside the Whole Foods on Las Vegas Boulevard, where I had sent out a wish to the universe. I want to teach light work here. I want to teach angel therapy here. So that started the whole snowball of teaching at her studio. Then another woman, Lee, who was opening another spiritual center in Vegas, found out about me through that class and invited me to teach at her studio. And then I taught there for a few years. And that's where my whole practice really took off. And I've had clients ever since. And I've been a full-time angel healer, business freedom mentor ever since. Yeah. So I would really hold on to your visions and your dreams and your ability to imagine, to visualize, to dream, to believe in things that are unseen. Okay, the belief in the unseen is so valuable, because in the to the quantum field, the unseen is just as real. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. I might need to go get my charger. No, you might be good. All right, so we're going to do a quick meditation to reclaim your jar of approval from anyone or anything that you feel keeps sort of having power over you. And I sent an email about how you're utterly unrejectable. You cannot be rejected. The fact that you think you could be rejected by anyone or anything is a really, really good convincing lemon, but the lemon was never real. And for all my RTT sisters, you know that the lemon is something we tell your mind to imagine. We tell you to bite into the lemon. You create saliva. Your body thinks you're actually eating a real lemon. If you're in a little bit of hypnosis, you can actually go into this visualization, bite into the lemon, or bite into the melon or whatever fruit you feel is really, really tasty. And you're gonna salivate. You're gonna salivate a really crunchy, beautiful, juicy apple. You're going to salivate because your body thinks you're actually eating the fruit. Is there an actual fruit? No, there is no actual fruit, right? But your mind believed it. So if your mind can believe in a lemon or an apple or a melon, your mind believed things when you were a kid. And it created these pictures in your mind, like this felt real, this was real. I really think that if my dad comes home angry, it must be my fault. I must be a bad little girl. So we did the lemon exercise on ourselves without even anybody convincing us of needing to believe in the lemon. It was just, We just came up with those facts. So we thought, I'm rejectable. If I don't do the right thing, I could be rejected. But today as an adult, you've gathered abilities, and you're able to do things and understand things and drive the car and pay for things and have experiences and have a resume and have graduated from school, so that the fact that you're rejectable today is like, it doesn't matter. It matters this much today, because if somebody rejects you, you walk out of the coffee shop, you walk out and you go right back to being a divine woman, aligning with everything, aligning with life, aligning with what you need to attract, like deciding what you get to call in, scripting it into being, aligning to it, and there it is. So today, if you are experiencing rejection, it actually isn't as traumatic than when you were a tiny little helpless child and it felt really traumatic. Yeah? All right, so let's do it a couple different ways. We're gonna go ahead and really let yourself go for a quick walk inside yourself. So you're going to close your eyes if you're not driving, and you can keep your eyes open if you have to keep them open. But imagine that you just can see your feet walking along a beautiful path. And it can be a soft sandy path if you like that. It can be in the water if you want to walk with me in some kind of shallow river with trees around us. And there's, birds are kind of singing, and you're feeling like you're vibing with the universe as you walk. And as you're on this walk, your body, your nervous system is grounding and relaxing, and it's sort of softening into the present moment, and you feel, see, sense your feet touching the ground, touching the earth. And every time you step, more and more of your muscles are relaxing, softening, coming back to yourself. And I'd like you to walk towards a version of yourself from your past. So even though you're walking forward on this river path, on this sandy path, there comes a version of you who's younger than you, and she's walking towards you, and she sees that you have grown up. And you notice her age, you notice how old she is, and she's feeling really scared and worried because she still believes in the narrative that if she doesn't do everything perfectly, she won't be approved of, she won't be loved, if she's not a certain size, if she's not that smart, if she's not capable. She still believes in the lemon that she's rejectable. And so you sit with her for a minute and you ask her to visualize her glass jar of approval and acceptance. And you imagine her sucking her feelers back in. They look like little spaghettis or little cute tentacles. And she's been tuning horizontally to people and situations to fill up her jar. And you're showing her that she can suck them back in. She can take back her jar of approval. And she can visualize it coming back, especially from one person that she tends to give it to the most. So ask her, say, who do you keep giving your jar of approval to the most? Yeah. And suck it back in like it's your jar, it's yours to take back. Yeah. Take your jar pot back and see it, really see it in your third eye. It's flowing back into your heart, into your womb, and cleanse it with your energy. As you call on the light to come through you vertically, you're cleansing the jar of anyone else's energy. This jar is so pristine. It is made by the divine. You were born with this jar of approval. It's innate. It's an instinct. And only the divine knows what will best fill it up, not your mind. Your mind is going to think, oh, if I lose 20 pounds, I'll be approved of. Oh, if, no. Let your innate divine woman guidance system just show you who you need to be, what you need to do, to just always have it be filled up. So now, as you claim the jar back, you're going to ask this younger version of you, think of a moment that would just help you feel so much love and approval. Can you think of a moment in the last day, the last week, where you did have love and approval, even from a pet, from a friend, from walking outside in nature? Yeah, imagine that you can just relive that moment of approval. You just think of a moment when you did have it, and you let it shower through you, filling up your whole aura, going right through your cells. And it goes through the crown, down into the heart, down into the feet. It fills up your space so much that it starts to leak into the earth, go right through the center of the earth, back up to you. So it's like the Mama Earth is receiving your approval that's overflowing, and she sends it back to you in the form of an energetic hug. Like just this wave of love and approval. Receive it in your heart, receive it in your cute little cells. And there's this breath in of approval, and breathing out approval. Like there's so much of you resonating with it, flowing through with it. And now, how does she feel, that younger version of you who was kind of feeling afraid or worried that she wasn't approved of? Can you give her a big hug and see if she feels safer now that she has understanding that she's utterly unrejectable, meaning no one can really reject her, no one and nothing. You are a daughter of the universe, and you were created for a reason. And if anyone seemingly doesn't approve of you, it's their energy, it's their stuff, it's their frequency. And if you somehow think ahead of time, oh, I could be rejected, I could be, not approved for this job, I may not qualify, I might not be qualified enough. Breathe through the fear of lacking approval. Center back, suck your feelers back in, and decide to script into being your next evolution, how it looks like, what it's going to be like. Send forward really good thoughts. Send forward really positive, powerful thoughts. Everywhere I go, I experience more and more love and approval. Everywhere I go, I'm fun, light, happy, and myself. Just get to be yourself. Let's do this one more time for another version of you. It could be your present self, but tune into another version of you as you keep walking along this path. Keep walking until you meet another version of you who tends to really worry about her safety when it comes to interacting with humans. Like, she doesn't feel safe being visible. She doesn't feel safe being seen by the world. She doesn't feel safe being herself. Can you walk forward until you find her, see her, and you sit with her again? And same thing, we're gonna suck the feelers back in. What will make you stronger and more centered is not to have that horizontal sort of push and pull with your cords of energy. Like when you're like, ooh, let me feel if this person approves of me. And it's like, if you can't feel if they're giving you approval, you might feel like a huge drop. And then you get caught up in a frequency, like I was sharing at the beginning of the video. You're no longer opening the bridge for people to come onto your energy field through the frequency of approval. Now it's like people can't come and find you or work with you because the feeler of am I approval worthy is feeling wobbly. So teach, show, and heal this part of you. As you walked on the river, you met with a woman who's a previous version of you or the current version of you who tends to get sort of worried and scared, and suck the feeler back in, seal up your energy. So it's like if you had a zipper at the base of your spine and you just zipped yourself up, and you just zip yourself up a couple times. Another way is to cut cords like this. You take your right hand towards your heart, left hand, and you just and then you push energy back out. That's just to kind of stay sovereign in your energy. Sometimes that just helps you come back into your energy field. So, like, our sensitivity of being like hyper aware and hypersensitive, it really works in our favor, because we can walk around a forest, we can walk into a store full of plants and flowers, we can be around a bunch of kids or kitty cats or puppies and be like waves of love and approval running through our entire being. Can you guys resonate with that? Like, you could just sit with meditation music, like a candle, crystals, in a sisterhood, and be instantaneously elevated because you have such high sensitivity, because you're so available for picking up energy. Now, it's a blessing and a curse. If you don't know how to manage the information you get, it can feel a bit like it's too much. Yeah? Now, I always say, like, if you really want to develop your intuition and you really want to have gifts of mediumship or psychic abilities, reading energy, a lot of people, they see the work I can do and they're like, can you teach me how to do that? Regulating your nervous system and doing this emotional work is really, really going to help you hold the intuition work. Because if you get a lot of intuitive downloads and you're worried about how the client's going to take it, you're going to get in the way of the channel. Okay. Of the information, and you just being a clear channel. All right, so help this second part of you, suck the feelers back in, take your glass jars of approval back. Truly, really, no one and nothing can fill it up as much as the divine can through people and experiences, when you're not the one trying to micromanage your like, will people like me and will people get me? So remind her that while she was a little girl, she was hyper aware of if she was rejectable or not. Like, we all did it. Like, at school, what should I wear? How should I do my hair? What will people say? Today, you get to choose to surround yourself with people who don't care what you look like. Like, they're not going to judge you based on your looks. They're going to be high quality people. And she gets to sit in rooms and be surrounded by people who are matched to her frequency. So it gets to be really easy. Like, your power of how much approval you get to receive this year, this month, this week is really easily dependent on your ability to just already recognize how much approval you already have, because it will compound and multiply. So if you have to go for a job interview, if you have to go on a date, if you have to go on a Facebook Live, just start vibrating and dancing with moments of approval you've had recently. Like a hug, a pet just came and cuddled up with you, your children, your friends, just sitting in nature. Receive, receive, receive. Okay, does that make sense? How your sensitivity can bring in really high frequencies to start calibrating yourself to that level. So the code of the divine woman isn't so much doing more, trying to figure things out. It's really leaning back and sitting still to listen, to let the transmissions come in, to let sort of the energy come in before the doing comes in. Does that make sense? Can you all sort of remember that in the coming days? Like, before you write your to-do list, what would the divine have me do? What would my infinite self have me do? If I was already completely sure of the outcome of this action, what would I do? If I was completely sure of the outcome of this lounge, whatever you're doing, what would I say? What would I do? Oh, we lost light. Hang on, ladies. Well, natural light is pretty good too, actually. Yeah. I needed to go get my charger, and I thought it was here, but it's not. So let's see if we can hack this. Maybe not. Okay, we'll just keep going. So, oh, I can turn this light on. Is that better? A little bit. Yeah. So the way that I name it is do 5D before you do 3D. And the 5D is visualizing it, feeling it, scripting it, and reclaiming your jars of approval. So something that we do, that I'm being shown that some of us do, is we'll send ahead of time the jar of approval or safety to people and situations to fill up before we even get there. And when we get there, we get on the call, or we do the thing, and we're like, they're not really giving me anything. Then there's this sense of falling apart. Yeah, does that resonate? So instead of doing that, imagine what it would be like for you to show up and be like, oh, I'm showing up strong and steady. My jar has been filled to the brim. I feel it, I sense it, I know it. And I can walk in giving an overflowing love and approval. Yeah? Try it this week. Try it this week with stepping into this tall, divine woman who's filled with light, filled with confidence, and filled with knowing. So when I did this in Costa Rica, I had a lot of time alone because I had been with a lot of friends, and then they all left, and then I had another group of friends coming, and I'm going to clear some energy, and then we'll do some readings for you ladies who've been here and waiting. Thank you so much. And I was in Uvita, which is a really nice beach little town, and I was staying at this little place, and I had, I love riding bikes when I'm in new places because I get to explore and discover, the city a little bit better than if you're driving, or, so I got this bike, and I'm listening to audios. I'm sort of tuning into myself and meditating, as you can when you're kind of by yourself. And sort of some of my friends had left, and then some other friends were still there, and they're like, join us for lunch, and here's the address, right? And I got my phone, I got my GPS, and for some freaking bizarre reason, my GPS kept taking me to the wrong address. So I kept putting in the address my friend sent me, and the GPS kept sending me to the wrong place. And I kept literally going around in circles for maybe 20 minutes. And then my bike got a flat tire, my little beach bike. So now I'm walking, it's hot. It's in Costa Rica. I don't know where I'm going at this point. I have a flat tire, and I can't call, my phone doesn't work. I can't call the people who rented. Anyway, it's this whole ordeal. So the only thing I had left was my intuition, like my antenna, right? To tune in. And when I tuned into my angels and my guides, I heard a very clear, go freshen up in the river, go swimming in the river, which was kind of next to the ocean down in Costa Rica. And this was a couple years ago, 2022, I believe, yeah. And I'm like, okay, so I swim in the water, I freshen up, and then I ask again, I'm like, where am I going? So I'm using my divine GPS, you guys, right? Because that's all I had left at this point. I can't find my friends. I don't know what's going on. I'm like, what is happening? This feels like meant to be. So after I go swimming in the river, I walk back towards this little hostel, like a hotel, cute little hotel. And I walk in there thinking I can maybe use their phone. And I sit across from this really nice guy. He's from Canada. His name's Mark. He's really, really very nice, kind looking. I'm like, oh, a friendly face. He speaks English. He's going to help. And he helps me open up coconuts because I was super thirsty. We had coconuts everywhere. And he ends up walking with me back to the beach. I finally find my friends. I finally get the bike back to the guy. And then as we're walking, there's this beautiful sunset. And he says, why don't you go out there? I'm going to take your picture. And it's the picture of where I'm like, I'll post it below, but it's the divine woman picture where the sunset's behind me in Costa Rica, and I'm like in my bathing suit, and I'm just posing. And it was like a fleeting moment. It was like a 1 second moment. It's one screenshot. Like all you see when you see the picture is me with my body is dark, and you have the beautiful Costa Rica sunset in the back. What you don't see is how much faith and devotion and stillness and being able to hold the void of where am I going? I don't know where I'm going. Let me keep walking. And when I got that picture, I was like, this is the most amazing picture of my entire life. Like, I didn't know Mark an hour before, right? Had I not gotten lost, had I not, the bike hadn't gotten a flat tire, had I not listened to my intuition. So what I'm trying to say, sometimes you just, the place you're trying to go to isn't working. You're like, I'm trying to find my friends, it's not working. What is happening? And it's kind of like what I wrote down. You first decide you're a divine woman, and then the divine comes to you. Yeah, thank you, Jillian. It's the silhouette and the sunset. But it's like you first decide I'm a divine woman. I work for and through the divine, and then the divine comes to you. So I wasn't really expecting, I wasn't in Costa Rica to have like a whole divine experience, right? But when you lay your business at the feet of some kind of divine intelligence who lives in all of us, and you decide to say, I don't know how to do this, but I trust in something bigger than me. I trust in the unseen. I trust in something divine. I trust in intelligence that lives through me. I keep trying to light this up and I'm not having a lot of success. Yeah, when you trust in that, it works. So like today, I decided today was a portal day. Because the energy just came really strongly with, this is a portal day you need to use today to really help women code in their availability for already having love and approval without needing to make anybody the plan. So I didn't know this was going to happen, but I spent a week with Mark. We're still friends. He's awesome. We ended up traveling together, and then he went his separate way. I went my separate way. I was actually heading back to the States. But I was moving towards a really important lesson already, kind of, where it was like, the man is not the plan. I am the plan. Like everything I call in, everything I desire, everything I script, everything I'm aligning with, I aligned with it. I decided it. I called it in. I made it happen. I was there every single time. But that was a really big contrast from the way I was raised. The way I was raised was everything I ever wanted came through the man. Every sense of safety, every sense of approval, every sense of validation, every sense of good job came through the man in my life. My stepdad, my second stepdad, my dad until he died, my brother until he died, my boyfriends until they left, right? It was like this perpetual seeking of approval from men. And it went further than that. It was almost like if I desired something, I'd have to find a man that would be willing to give it to me. Like if I wanted anything, like a house or wanting to move, wanting to live anywhere, it had to come through a man. Yeah. And when I tell this to some of my French friends, she goes, well, we were all raised like that. Like it's very Latin based, the man's the plan and you just follow the man. And if the man doesn't want to get it to you, you just don't get it. But you guys, it was such deep sabotage because I'm able to manifest quite amazingly, quite fast. But when I would doubt myself from being able to get it and tell the universe, I'll get it when a man gives it to me, the universe says, okay, right? If you want, we'll try to find you someone who will give you, but we could just give it to you directly, So the divine woman sort of came out of that picture, out of that week, out of that sense of like, I followed my intuition that day, you guys. Mark took the picture, right? I had literally, it was like a honeymoon in Costa Rica with him. He was so kind, so amazing. We had the best Valentine's Day. It was the Valentine's Day week that week. He was just the kindest, amazing boyfriend for the week. But I'm the one who got the bike, and I'm the one who listened to the intuition. I'm the one who booked the flight to Costa Rica. Like I'm the one who booked the flight to the United States to then go to Costa Rica. And I was such a codependent, you guys, before. I was such a helpless codependent. So if the man didn't approve of me, I would fall to pieces. If the man decided to end the relationship, I would fall to pieces. It was codependency to the point where I forgot I was capable of manifesting everything. Okay? So the reason I'm telling you about Divine Woman is because there are feelers to suck back in that are really ancestral, that are really old. But at the end of the day, they're all lemons. So if you just joined us, you may not get what the lemon is, but the lemon is really like, you know, we bite into the lemon, we start to salivate. The mind believes the lemon. We believed for generations now, we can't have love and money, you know, without a man. We can't have safety without a man or whatever. And I'm not a feminist, like I still love men. I'm always dating a man. I'm always with someone that is a man who will fix everything in my house. Like I love co-creating with men. I love being in relationship with men. I love men. Like I have nothing against men. But this is what I believe in really strongly, is that confidence never harmed a relationship, but insecurity always will. So confidence in a relationship with a man will never harm the relationship, but insecurities will. Like, you know, if I give all my power away to a man and I don't know where he is on a Friday night, I am going to freak out. If I give all my jars of safety and approval to a man and I don't know, and he hasn't called me in a couple days or hours or whatever limit, like whatever it takes for you to start to have panic attacks, right? So claiming your energy back, sucking your feelers back in, realizing if you script it, if you align to it, if you see it, feel it, know it, it comes to you without the person that you think you need to get it to you. Now, it took a lot of work to get over the limiting beliefs. Like, what do you mean I can have financial freedom without my dad? What do you mean I'm not a financial victim? Because as soon as my father died when I was 10, it was like our world crumbled. We became really poor. My mom got breast cancer. And we had nothing. It was like we went from having everything to nothing because dad died. So it was like very like visceral. Like, what do you mean I can live on the beach in a 3-bedroom condo as a single woman and I can have a brand new car and I can travel the world and raise my son on my own without a man and thrive? Like, you know, I had to really ask for things that were next level in order to hopefully sort of be an example that it's possible with the tools and it's possible with the alignment and it's possible because you choose it to be, you know, you choose it to have it. Yeah. So now I do have a man in my life. It's my son, who's the cutest little boy, but I mean, he's like an adult now. He's pretty much as tall as me, but he's still like my baby. But you know what I mean? I've had to be there to really raise him on my own most of the time. And his dad, you know, only takes him maybe once a year for a couple weeks, you know, that's it. And that's totally okay on my end. It's our agreement and Hayden's okay with it. Everyone's okay with it. That's our deal. Unless I fly to the States and I live in the States, then he sees his dad a little bit more. But that's been our deal since my son was in my belly. So it's been okay. It's been the choice that I made, right? So now, let's do some readings and see what comes up for you ladies. How did that land? I know I covered a lot. There's more coming for the Divine Woman codes. There's going to be 2 more live calls like this. Hopefully we'll do soon. I work a lot with, as a generator, I get pings and I respond. So I can't really predict the next calls, but here we are, right? Thank you, Lauren. Yeah. So who wants a reading? And I got some new cards. I got like a whole bunch of cards that I don't usually do cards anymore, but sometimes I like to hand them out and get a little confirmation through the pictures and the image. Thank you, Lauren. And there is, well, you guys tell me who wants the reading. There's a Divine Women's Circle that's going to take place on weekends, Saturday, Sunday. In the next couple months, we're going to do like 1 or 2 weekends a month or something like that to give you, it's going to be on Zoom. We're going to be able to see each other and you're going to be able to work with each other to develop your intuition and to do this work more deeply. So it's like awakening your intuition, connecting to your guides and angels, creating sacred spaces, connecting to the goddess archetypes. They're a little bit powerful, and the goddesses is like, you need to be ready for the goddesses. Okay, angels, archangels we can work with. Goddesses can be, it's a whole other vibe, but we'll definitely activate and allow your divine woman to feel really nourished. And the practice is to stay aligned with receiving guidance and receiving divine directions for aligned manifestations, yeah? And some emotional regulating exercises, because the best intuitive has a regulated nervous system. Yeah, Jalen, definitely. So Jalen, as you ask for a card, it says, believing in spiritual guidance gives me certainty and the freedom to keep dreaming, even when I can't see the result. I was talking about that today. So let this be your first card, and then I'll pull more for you in a minute. So let me tune into who needs to go when. I think I need to read Lauren first, and then maybe Parveen, and then Jalen, but let me know what your timeline is. Yeah. Okay, this is where I get to do the work I love the most. Yeah, Clémence. Yeah. I'll pull a card for Clémence. Yeah, this one is your card, but let me, I'll read for you a little bit more. I'll do more reading if you want. Clémence, let me know if this resonates. Okay, let me read for Lauren. What is your question about? Did you have an actual question? Let me just tune in. So, I've been reading energy. Hi, Laura. By 9 a.m. New York time. Okay, yeah. You guys, I read energy through frequency, so I tune my antenna up to source, to the God consciousness, Christ consciousness. I work a lot with devotion and healing. My gift is I came on the planet to be a healer, and somebody needed this one. You guys, this is the theme of the Divine Woman. Do less, receive more. Can someone take a screenshot of this, please, and send it to me later? Can you guys feel this? Oh my gosh. Yes. Okay. Lauren, let me tune in. So Lauren, just speak out your name 3 times. I know you won't be able to speak it through Facebook, but oof, I'll hear you. Oh, okay. All right, so I get you, I get you sitting still, you know, trying to meditate, but I get a lot of interesting energy around you that feels more busy, masculine, earthy, busy work energy, more corporate sort of vibe, more like the doers of the world. And you're trying to be like, no, but I'm spiritual, I'm divine, I'm spiritual, I'm divine. You're trying to stay in your divinity, but you're also very much in your human and your earth energy. Let me know if that resonates. Okay, Clémence. Yeah, I'll tune into that for you. There's a quote that I channeled for Divine Woman, which is something like, when you're a divine woman, you can be human and divine. Like, you can go from I'm superhuman, I'm super busy, I'm go, I'm in my badass, and then have that space to come back into your divine woman. So Lauren says, I just had a promotion, it's hard to meditate. Yeah, so what I think would be really helpful is if you created a sacred space at home, that when you sit in that sacred space, it's just this kind of work. You want to get some cards and create a circle around you that you open and close when you meditate. And if you meditate at the same spot, if you listen to the kind of that music that will have that binaural beat, you know, on YouTube, there are a lot of different meditations to call in your divine woman, to bring her back into your chakras and anchor you. My worry is that you're resisting the human stuff right now a little bit energetically. You're trying to put a wall. Yeah, she's like, I'm actually creating a meditation space. I love it. Yeah, because right now you're trying, it's all coming at you really fast, like it's all hitting you. And you're like, I'm gonna stay really zen right now. I'm gonna try not to freak out. I'm gonna stay zen. Yeah. Okay, good. I think what's possibly hard to meditate is because you're feeling triggered by the manifestation. Does that make sense? Like, it's not that you need to meditate more to release the trigger, is that you need to go into the trigger and listen for the noise. Like, what am I specifically afraid of in this manifestation? Like, what is it that feels triggering about manifesting this? What am I telling myself? What am I afraid of? And if you can lean into that part, you'll feel calm and centered and still again. Yeah. Does that make sense? A lot of times we make the mistake like, oh, I need more energy work. I need more meditation to calm myself down. When really you just got to find the trigger. So sometimes it's asking the feeling, how old are you? And then going down to see her. Right now, the last thing I can tell you, Lauren, is like, you've manifested your next level. It feels like before you felt like, I am the woman who manifests this all the time. So it's like, oh, you manifest your next level before you feel like the woman who's able to hold that long term. Yeah, so there's a sense of like the woman who manifests this level of promotion at work is my next level, and I'm not there yet, you know, so that identity work, but you'll get there through asking the feeling, how old are you? And going down to see her and validate her, and then she won't take so much room. I remember when I gave a talk at a women's conference, I had a sticky recurring feeling, which came from an inner child, and then when I did the work, I was able to be really calm and centered during the talk. And by the way, if you guys want to join the weekend workshops, we'll do more of the feeling work and the inner child work and the identity work, so that when you do sort of the intuition work with angels, intuition work, healing work, you'll feel really centered and regulated. Yeah. Let me see if any other cards come up for you. Lauren. I am patient knowing that whatever is of the highest good is coming to me. Yeah. So I don't know, she's pregnant. I don't know if you're calling any babies. I don't think you are, but. All right. Sometimes being pregnant means we're pregnant with inner children, or we're pregnant with ideas and projects. Okay. Parveen, thank you, Lauren. Parveen. I have decided that I need to focus on money blocks more than anything else, as I seem to be able to manifest stuff, but not money. Yeah. So if you were to finish the sentence, and everybody can jump in on that one, to me, money is, what would you fill the blank with if you were to do a really quick stream of consciousness? To me, money is... Woof, yeah. To me, money is, like, do a couple rounds of that. Yeah, to me, money's far away. What else comes up? If you do a quick stream of consciousness, hard to get. Yeah. Okay. Lauren, cool. Yeah. To me, money is. So, and if money was a person and you were dating money, how do you feel treated by money? Ooh. So, Parveen, let me read you, and then I'll give you. Yeah. Okay. Did Dad make most of the money growing up, Parveen? It feels like it, but I want to confirm. I want to validate. Did Mom work, or most money came through Mom, through Dad? So I'm gonna assume that's a yes, right? Because of what I think I remember from what you've told me. Because what I saw is, when I asked the energy to show me what's going on with you and money, it was like you made an association that Dad is money, love from Dad is safety and money. And a lot of people do that. I used to do that, right? Obviously with my dad, even though my mom worked, even though my mom had a business, it always felt like the man was the provider and the person who would keep us safe, because my mom's mother never worked and my mom's dad was the breadwinner. So my mom was still sort of had that code, you know? So here's what happens when you have such a strong dad figure, and the dad feels like the one who's going to tell you, do this, don't do that. Like he's giving you orders. I know he tried to influence you with your career. So if you have a belief, my dad is money, my dad is safety, and my dad is my source of approval, and there's a sense that dad doesn't approve of you, then money doesn't come to you either. So I know I went really fast, but I saw it in like half a second. It was like super fast, Parveen. Show me how Parveen feels with money as a relationship. If money's a relationship, does Parveen feel loved and approved of by money? Does Parveen feel safe with money? Is money always there for her? Is money like this lover, this husband who's totally taking care of Parveen? Or is money like doesn't love Parveen, doesn't take care of her, is in and out? Do you know what I'm saying, Parveen? Yeah, money's far away, money's hard to get. A way to really break through that pattern is to decondition your mind from believing money comes through dad and safety comes through dad. Because you can also work on the dad file. Like you could work on the dad file to the point where you're like, my dad loves me, my dad approves of me, money comes to me like my dad loves and approves of me. But that's trying to do two things at the same time. What I would do is just divorce your mind from, no, money doesn't come from dad. Safety doesn't come from dad. I'm the plan. The man is not the plan. I'm the plan. But you've got to really get it on a really deep cellular subconscious level. And the way to get there is every time you have an interaction with money, every time you're afraid of lacking money, it's really you looking at the inner child who's afraid of lacking her dad's approval. So you need to do the inner child exercise with her over and over again until she understands. When we were little, yeah, money, approval, safety came through from dad and through dad. Because if money, love, and approval didn't come from dad to mom, mom didn't have it either. See what I'm saying? So you've got to stop, you got to go in, and every time you feel afraid of lacking approval and safety from and through money, to repair and upgrade the inner child. Yeah? So back when we were little, it was true. We needed to rely on dad. But now we grew up. Now we live here. We live in Paris. We're independent. We have a resume. We have experience. Money comes through us now. And I've been doing this work since 2010 with that work. I still, when I'm doing any kind of work, I still sometimes have an inner child who I have to upgrade. But it takes me 3 seconds. It's like I go in, I see her, I go, remember we grew up here, we live on the beach, we live in the south of France. Dad's not around anymore. We're totally the ones who are going to be able to be in relationship with money. So try to do that, Parveen, where you separate money in your subconscious mind and your energy field from being meshed in with dad. Now, does dad still financially give you anything today? I don't think so, but I just wondering if money's still coming through dad in any way. If it is, it's just going to be a little bit harder to tell your subconscious money doesn't come through dad anymore. It comes from us. But the faster you can claim that relationship is, I have an independent relationship with money now. Like you got to claim it, own it. Like, so this is Parveen and this is money is together. Yeah, he's been gone. I was feeling like, but energetically, I feel like, do you feel like he's still there though, energetically? Like you still, like I had a financial victim 4 years ago that still was waiting on dad to come back, and she didn't want to be the one to make the money in case daddy came back, and my dad's been dead for 30 years, right? Yeah. Okay. So just try to really separate even more. Like why, okay, so why would money be hard to get? Like what's in the way of you letting money be there for you all the time, to cherish you, to love you, to be there consistently? Yeah? Yeah, and we can miss our dad and love our dad and let them be still in our energy field. But what I mean is draw 2 circles on a piece of paper, and this is Parveen and this is money, and you want to bring them together. like the figure 8, or, you know, the 2 circles made in the middle, because you want to show your subconscious mind, Parveen and money go together. Parveen and money go together. Money's there for me. I love money. Money's so supportive of me. I feel loved and supported by money. And you had a self-care card, which was to make a vision board. And what I would do is I would create a vision board of photos of what Parveen would do, what Parveen would look like, what Parveen would believe in if she had a much better relationship with money. Like, money's always there for me. Money always supports me. And it's possible. Like, I used to have very limiting beliefs around money. I used to feel like a financial victim. I used to feel like everybody died. I lost my homes. I have nothing left. Why do I have to be a single mom? Why do I have to pay for everything? Why, right? And then I was able to turn that around to the point where now, no matter what I buy, no matter where I live, no matter if I want a brand new car, there is still more money coming in than out. It's like this constant lover who is always there for me, no matter what I decide to call in and manifest. Yeah, Parveen? How does that sound to sort of, so another way you can ground into that gratitude is every time you buy anything, it's like you're love languaging money. So I really loved it when I was in Costa Rica when I did this, because I could only use cash. And you guys, it's the best feeling because my love language is touch. So I was like, and Costa Rica has the most beautiful bills, like the most beautiful bills, like that. I just love them so much. Like in the States, it's like they're all the same color. But in Costa Rica, they're like beautiful, colorful bills. Like, get yourself some Costa Rica bills because they're beautiful. And I have one somewhere. I think my son took my little Costa Rica bill. So I had to touch money every single day. So every time you pay for something, pay with it with like, ooh, money's there for me. Love language, touch. So every time you make a meal, think money is so supportive. Money's there for me. Money paid for this. And you're expressing gratitude to money as if money is a person. Yeah. Yeah, Parveen. Yeah, she's like, thank you. This really helps. I didn't know where to start. Yeah, and you can always ping pong, but before you even ping pong is really look at your relationship to money. And then there's the abundance book. If you get it with the CD, there's a meditation in there to interview money, like how, like you hold the bill, you hold the money and you go talk to money, and the money will respond and tell you how you are with it. So if you are angry at it, if you're like, you're never enough, I don't trust you coming back if I let you go. If you treat money like a person, and the money will respond and say, you know, you're not really nice to me. You're controlling and you don't trust me and all of that. Okay. Yeah, I love a good vision board. My vision boards, have you guys noticed? Vision boards come true faster than ever. Oh my gosh. I made a vision board in September, and I hadn't noticed this, but I put a couple drinking champagne by the Eiffel Tower in Paris. And within 2 weeks, I was going to Paris. My boyfriend at the time joined me there. And for 5 nights, I was drinking champagne in Paris. That's never happened. I never drink champagne ever, especially not 5 nights in a row. And it was with different friends, different people, different experiences at different places in Paris. And every single time people brought a bottle of champagne. And I'm like, I will never put champagne on a vision board ever again. Well, maybe, but that was a little intense. I was drinking champagne every day. Okay. Be careful what you put on your vision board. All right. Parveen, does that sound good? Yeah. All right. Who was next? Was it... who wants to be next? I know someone needs to go in a half hour. So Lisa, soon Clémence. Is Clémence still here? Jillian. I think I need to read for Jillian. She's been waiting too. So Jillian, Lisa, Clémence. Yeah? All right. Fabulous. Let me tune into Jillian. I want to get different cards for Jillian. Oh, I'm going to get the Jesus cards. I don't know why. That just called to me. Okay, Jillian, do you have a question, or you feel perfect, whole, and complete? So I get a question from your soul, your energy. If you're in a relationship, like if you have a husband, are there cords you can't suck back in? I don't know if you actually had that question, but when I tuned into your energy, I felt like that was a potential question. Like, are there cords with like my son? Obviously, I'm not going to suck them back in. There is a practice you can do where you can clean the cord with light. You can clean the cord with light because, and I'm happy to share that meditation with you. I think it's a 10 to 12 minute meditation where you clean the cord of fear and all of that. And it really helps with your relationship. It is a module in Divine Woman. It's the module with triggers. So it's one of my favorite practices in the whole world. It's how I've awakened through relationships. So the way that I came to be so awake and conscious is through triggers and the pain body. Eckhart Tolle talks about chapter 8 in The Power of Now. When I first heard it, I was like, this is mind-blowing. But he talked about how women were going to go free and we're going to awaken faster than men because we had cyclical periods every month and we were triggered and it kind of came up all the time, and until we had a sort of a lens into the pain body. And I was getting so incredibly triggered by men at the time in my 20s. And through a lot of prayers and a lot of work, I found a method to move from a really triggered state to a really loving, unconditionally loving, peaceful, centered place. And it's a worksheet. It's called My Forgiveness Magic Sheet. And so there's the cord of light meditation, but beyond that, there's the Forgiveness Magic Sheet, which takes the projections we have through triggers. Like when we're triggered, we're projecting, we're believing in a lemon, and it's like the person spilled, like we bumped into somebody and we spilled our milk or tea or coffee all over ourselves. We're in a lot of pain, but they bumped into us, so we think it's their fault, like they are the problem. They bumped into me, they said this, they did this. I'm not able to go free, I'm not able to do what I want because they're in my life. But the container, the tea, the coffee is what we're holding. And so why are we holding this freaking cup of coffee? The Forgiveness Magic Sheet helps you sort of release the carbon-based memory, the ancestral memory that is stored in our tissues, in our cells, in our subconscious mind. It's very ancestral. And what's interesting, the reason I picked the Jesus cards is because this method came from Jesus. The method is called Why Is This Happening to Me Again? It's from Dr. Michael Rice. I met him back in 2010 in Las Vegas. And he's translating the Bible directly from Aramaic, which is Jesus' original language, to English. And he created a whole method of Why Is This Happening to Me Again? The Forgiveness Magic Sheet is, I use his worksheet, but I made it more like energy healing and inner child healing to go a little bit faster because I found that his way was like a little too slow for me. So I made it a little bit more magical. And he gave me permission to use his worksheet. I just quote him at the bottom of the worksheet and I give him credit. But I've been using it since 2015, this worksheet and this method to transform people's relationships, transform people's hearts so that they can stay married or not. They can heal their relationship with their mom, with their dad, with their sisters, with their kids, and no longer project old carbon-based memory onto their children. And it's the ultimate healing tool. So, interesting that I felt like I wanted to talk about that with you. So the one that came out was this one. Be not afraid, only believe. So I love that, right? So I think, Jalen, whatever beautiful challenges you tend to manifest through any relationship, it's like, I know your in-laws, like your mother-in-law and all of that, whatever challenge you're calling in and manifesting, it's like, that's the level of expertise you're reaching to get. If you manifest really difficult relationship through them, just think that must mean I am made to be incredibly good at this, like skilled. Like, do you see the analogy I'm trying to give you? it's like the more you're attracting, the more badass you are to be able to handle it and transmute it and learn from it and turn it into gold until it will never happen again. So before the forgiveness magic sheet, I had constant conflicts with my sister. I had constant conflicts with mother figures, with father figures, right? And then as soon as I use the forgiveness magic sheet, I get along with my mother, my son's grandma, who is like my mother-in-law. I've been getting along with her beautifully for the last 12 years, right? Mother figures used to be a huge trigger for me. Huge. Yeah. Yeah, Lisa. So you can find it at michaelriceagain.org or something to do work with him. But if you want to do it with me, it's inside Divine Woman, which is coming up on weekends. We can do it. I don't know if I have it in Fearless, Lisa, but if you want to join us, Divine Woman's going to be pretty affordable. I'm going to make it affordable for you guys to join us. It's like 3 or 4 weekends over 3 or 4 months. I'm going to feel into it just so you can keep going with the clearing. But otherwise, I highly recommend it. It deletes the carbon-based memory. Okay, last one. But yeah, so anyone you feel triggered by, Jalen, it's like it's in service to your next level. So let me finish with that. Once you move out of the trigger, the anger, he spilled milk and tea and coffee all over me, and you wake up, it's like there's this awakening. You're no longer believing in the lemon. You're no longer in that scattered, triggered state. You then can call in something better. You then can decide something into being. You then can script from the highest frequency. So, you know, instead of being triggered by my sister, I now have the most amazing relationship with my sister. Or instead of being triggered by my son, I script exactly what I want to call in, and it manifests. When I teach this work to women, I had one beautiful lady who lived in a really big house because she wanted to get a really big house for her kids. But then over the years, the kids left and she still had a couple years left on the lease. I believe this was in Oregon or Washington. And she goes, Alixe, I really want to get out of my lease, but my landlord, no, my home manager, so not the landlord, the manager of the house, was a real kind of work. Like, he was not nice to her. He was always mean to her over the years. He was never compromising and cooperating. So she goes, I don't know. I want to break the lease. My kids moved out of college. I want to get out of the lease. I go, you are talking to the right woman. So we did this forgiveness magic sheet. We keep clearing stuff around the land, the home property manager. That's the word, property manager. And she sent a really loving, selfless, heart-centered email to the owners, and the owners responded saying, we completely agree, you can break the lease and you can go anytime you want. And I believe they even give her an extra couple months for free in the house until she found a place. It was like this crazy outcome. Her name is Jill. She lives in, I believe, Oregon or Washington. I can't remember. I have her testimonial. She was like, this is mind-blowing because based on my relationship with the house manager, I never thought this could happen, okay? So you can turn things around really fast. I've seen people turn around abusive divorces and abusive work situations using this. I've seen people get bonuses at work that were not at all possible, and they still got to leave the work with bonuses, with extra pay, because they used the power of the heart and the love. I did it also when I had a really big hospital bill. When I had my son, I had to go to the hospital twice. I had a near-death experience when he was born, and I didn't have health insurance at the time in the States. And I did this for the hospital bill, and one of them got down from 30K to 0, completely wiped. And another one the second time was another 30K, and that one went down to 7K. And my mother-in-law helped me pay for it. She just was like, I'll pay for it. Obviously, you just had my grandson. But again, if I hadn't worked on my relationship with mother figures, I wouldn't have such a great relationship with my mother-in-law, right? Okay, that was my rant about the universe supporting us when we're in the frequency of love and approval, and we're in the frequency of filling up our jars through being a divine woman. Does that make sense? Instead of being in 3D we go 5D, we change the frequency in 5D, and then the exes change, and then the father figure changes, and then the money changes, yeah? All right, Lisa, let me tune into you. Thank you, Dylan, for allowing me to talk about that because of you showing up today. If you hadn't come, I wouldn't have been able to talk about these beautiful teachings from Jesus. And thank you, everybody, for being here. It's really, really cool. Okay, thank you. My heart is just beaming with gratitude for getting to feel into the possibility that we are all going to continue to clean out old carbon-based memories and hurts. And my prayer goes out to countries and populations who still project hate and trauma onto each other. And I'm going to visualize them all being willing to heal their projections and their fears so that we can all get along in the world and we can all ascend. And I believe if we do this work for each other, the whole world will end up doing it for each other. And we can take this love and this acceptance and this fearlessness, like that the other can't harm me because my ability to tune into love and safety and control is innate. It is within me, and it's something my connection to intuition brings me, you know, that's always ever flowing, and I don't have to be angry at anyone for possibly taking it away from me because they can't take it away from me, because it's always mine to keep filling up through my connection to myself and the world. Oh, amen. Thank you. Thank you. Amen. Yes, Lauren, thank you for saying this has been a wild, beautiful ride. All right, Lisa, think of what you want me to tune in for you. Oh. I've been reading Lisa for a couple months now, and it's always interesting. You have such a vast, beautiful energy. Everybody's energetic signature is always different. So fun. Okay, Lisa, you feel calm, you feel centered, you feel tall, big. You have a big blue aura. Did you say you wanted me to tune into anything specifically? Yeah. I just get that you need to keep going. You know, you're on the right path. Are there stories you still are kind of rehashing and believing in and activating? Sure. It really comes down. So let me tell you this. I know I talked a lot about doing 5D before you do 3D, but the little caveat with that is if you do feel there's a recurring thought like, I, Lisa, feel mad because blah, 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 because just like when there's a kind of sticky recurring feeling, you actually do the emotional work, the deep earth. Like, to me, emotional work is 3D work. You know, it blends 3D with 5D, but right now, Lisa, you have maybe 60%. It moves from 40 to 60. You're continuing to experience lack of your desire. Like, so you have a desire for 50K months, 100K months, and all of that, yeah? And I totally want to hold that it's possible for you, that you can own it, claim it, decide it, aligned with it. But there's just a sense of, but I'm still so far from it. I'm feeling this recurring feeling of lack. And that's what I would do 3D on with like the happy map. I, Lisa, feel because just like when. And you want to change your mind about those sticky recurring beliefs. This will never happen to me. Yeah, right. Who do I think I am? Blah, blah, blah. I don't have enough of this. My da-da-da-da-da. It doesn't make sense. Yeah? So, yeah, and the card that just came up, I think makes sense, right? It's like, what's my next step for this? What do I need to do? Who do I need to be? What kind of beliefs do I need to have? Yeah. So you have bills now, you have debt now, yeah? And you need to sit with that. It's like me in the hospital bills, like when they came in, instead of being like, let me call in 50K so I can pay for the bill. Instead, I was like, what's my next step? And the next step was you need to send love to the hospital. You need to send love to everyone involved in the debt. So if the debt is from a course you took, if the debt is from bills, whatever bills you have to pay, send love and gratitude to the people who gave you, who you purchased the things from, and also from the bank who gave you credit. So in order to have debt, you have to have somebody believe in your abundance. You know, in order to have debt, you have to have somebody who believed in your abundance. So can you feel grateful for it? So it's like I'm asking you to stand in the, like if debt is a golf course, or if debt is a hole on a golf course, I'm asking you to sit in the hole and be like, how many people can I feel grateful for that I have this debt? And I swear to you, this is going to work so fast. You just have to do it genuinely. Okay, this is the card. I slow down and listen to the guidance that's available to me. So instead of sitting in your debt and feeling triggered and feeling scared, you know, maybe do some TAT before you do this, like hold the pose and do the whole TAT thing before you do this exercise so your nervous system is regulated. But then you have to go, how many people can I find and can I be grateful for that helped me co-create this debt? Like, I constantly have gratitude for the people who sold me my car. I love them so much. I can't even tell you. I love my car so much. People stop me on the street asking me about my SUV electric car that I love so much. And because of that, I'm still able to make all the payments, and I could even pay the whole thing off now if I wanted to, because love is abundance. Love is paying off your debt. Does that make sense, Lisa? So when I sent love to the hospital, to the doctors, to the nurse, to everybody on the team that night when I had a near-death experience and they saved my life, then it made sense to me that they wiped off the bill, because to me, I had paid the bill with my heart and my love, because money is energy. So can you try that, Lisa, until the next time we talk? You sit in the debt, you look at all the bills, you go, who can I feel grateful for? Who can I pray for? Yeah. So much of the debt was in the abundance of my husband's salary, which is no longer the same, and was in my financial dependence on him. I want financialness. Okay. So whatever debt you manifested, who can I be grateful for? You could be grateful for your husband, that he had a salary. You could be grateful for your husband's job, even if it's no longer there. You could send love to the fact that he had a salary at the time that you could manifest the debt. He had a salary, and you had the guy who married you, the priest who married, like, literally try to sit for as long as it takes, even if it's 3 hours, to keep being grateful for everyone involved in the debt. The merchants, the debt collectors, the credit card company. The more love you send to whatever's related to the debt, the more the debt's going to go away. When Parveen did this, remember Parveen, your debt went down by 50%? Yeah. So we cannot have and want at the same time, okay? If you want independence, you're not in alignment with having it. I talked a lot more about this in Selling Your Power. I kind of wish you had joined us for that, but next round. So you cannot have and want at the same time. So instead of thinking I want, it's like, what would it feel like if I already had it? What would I be experiencing? What would I be thinking if I already had complete and total independence, or complete and total abundance all the time? Who would I be? What would I be thinking? Yeah, what would I be doing? Okay, let go of wanting, because you can't have and want at the same time. Wanting will not lead to having. This is a huge mistake that people think. If I want, it will lead me to having. No, it doesn't. Wanting takes you this way, having is this way. Yeah, if more comes in than goes out, then you need to tune into the frequency of overflow. And what does that feel like to have overflow? What does it feel like to trust money is always there for me? What does it feel like? See, because you wanting independence from your husband or from financial independence is potentially you wanting to break up with the original recurring source of money you've had, to be like, no, we're done here. Let me make my own money. It's kind of like if money was a relationship, you're like trying to break up with it instead of inviting it in, healing it, and working on the relationship and building from there. Okay, love, do you see what I mean? Don't reject what is and what can be and what has been. Heal it, forgive it, learn from it, extract the lessons from it, and let it come from the heart. The heart is always going to give you more abundance. So the frequency of overflow comes through your gratitude. Yeah. They're just frequencies. So if I live in the frequency of I will never have enough, I will always never have enough. If I live in the frequency of everything is incredibly abundant, look how much I have, even if it's maybe little compared to what people have. Maybe it's a lot less than most people have. I still can feel so grateful. And the gratitude will always bring you more. Okay? Not wanting to control, not wanting to change. Yeah, not just wanting, yeah. My super attractor power comes from how I feel, my faith in love, and the joy I put out. See, that one's for you. All right, I know you need to go. Keep coming back, you guys. These conversations, if you work on this, then we talk again. I'll see your energy's different. But yeah, your energy is very blue and expensive and tall, but I get that you need some practices to solidify it, to make your aura stronger. Yeah, thank you, Lisa, for the conversation. Yeah. It's like, how can I grow through this? How can I elevate my consciousness through this? Who's left? Is anybody still around? Clémence, do you still want a reading? Can you please show that again? I can take a screenshot. Yeah. Sorry, the light's not super strong. Yeah, tapas is amazing. Definitely do tapas on healing all the frequencies related to that for sure. Yay, Parveen. Yeah, is anyone else still here for readings, or are we feeling complete? So this was the Divine Woman Transmission 1. I love it. I shared almost everything I wanted to share, I believe. Yeah, you're welcome. And if you're watching the replay and you want to join this sisterhood and this circle, the Divine Women Circle, they're going to be on Saturdays or Sundays, and they're going to be longer sort of workshops for 3 or 4 hours. We get inside Zoom, we'll make it work with the time zones, and we do a lot of personal development work, intuition work, angel work, awakening your chakra system, awakening your clairs. And yes, Michelle, and inviting more divine guidance to come in to support you and removing triggers. It's got all the forgiveness work I mentioned, all the emotional regulating exercises, and the identity work, and also human design and gene keys. My goodness. All right, so I would like one, please. Michelle is here. Is anyone else here that's been waiting? I'll read for Michelle. Michelle, I don't think I've ever read for you. Let me tune in. So think or say your name 3 times just to open up your energy. Oof. So I can go tune into you. Got beautiful energy. The only thing that's sort of coming back to me is your throat chakra, feeling blocked or hurting, or like you're not able to fully flow with the throat, with the voice, with like, I feel like you try to say stuff and it stays stuck in your chest. What cards do I want to pull for you? Yeah, can you tell me what you want me to read specifically around that? Or, because, yeah, I feel like you, all right, it feels like you have the power of manifesting, and you have the magical wand, but it's like you're using it in reverse. So, like, I think you use the power of the voice. I think you learned it from your mom. It's like you worry a lot. It's like you have to you slow yourself down a lot through worry and no way, like second guessing yourself and over preparing, instead of experiencing flow and experiencing trust and experiencing alignment. There's a lot of second guessing and worry, but I feel like it's a pattern you picked up from mom or grandma or like the women in your life. And do you feel like it's fear-based? Is it a little bit like the paradigm of be careful what you say? Don't, like, you could take people off. Like, I feel like it's around a little bit of the theme we talked about today. Like, oh, I could be rejected. People could disapprove of me. I need to be super careful. Or there's just a sense of like things not being open here. So let me see if I can do some work. Oof, clearing it all up. Softening it. I get your 7, and I get you trying to read or do something in class, and people like were not very nice to you when you were trying to read your essay or you were trying to read poetry or something. Yeah, I'm often misunderstood. Yeah, I think there's a root cause in childhood stuff. I see you in a classroom and like boys they just made fun of you, like when you were trying to do something at school. So can we delete that? Oof, uncreate it, make the whole thing an untruth. Just suck your feeler back in from that. Yeah, suck your energy back from that experience. And like, this is where the inner child work is really, really good. We go back and we reparent, upgrade the inner child, and we're like, hey, we're not back there anymore. Today we can speak. Today we can say what we mean to say, and today people will understand us because we're adults. We're not little kids anymore. Yeah, the energy is a little sticky, so yeah, let's just channel light through the top of your head into your heart, passing through your throat. Let the crown chakra really absorb as much light as you possibly can visualize, like a healing vortex. A spinning wheel, it's spinning light through the throat, cleansing, deleting, uncreating everywhere you feel like you're misunderstood. Can we delete that? Uncreate it, transmute it across all times, dimensions, spaces, and realities. Make the whole thing an untruth. What if there was a button in your energy, Michelle, where we're like, everywhere it's true that I'm misunderstood, everything creating it, we just press the untruth button. We deleted it, uncreated it, transmuted it. What if you were past that? What if that whole experience was done with and complete, and that was no longer at all something you were even ever worried or afraid about? Yeah. Oof, how does that feel for you to step out of that energy into something where it's like, my voice is truly, really always understood. My voice is my power. I love using my throat chakra. My throat chakra works beautifully for me and is always saying, I always say the right thing at the right time. How does that feel, love? Yeah. So delete, uncreate, transmute. I'm going to solidify your aura so that if anyone has anything to say to you, it's like it comes towards you like little cotton balls, like cute little cotton balls instead of sharp knives. And if anyone needs this, it's a really great practice. So if you work with a boss, if you have a partner who tends to like say things that really get straight to you like a knife, what I've had to do personally, because I used to date somebody who was very like direct and it would always like really hurt me, is I sucked my feelers back in, I put my aura in the light, and I imagine a lot of cotton, like cotton candy or cotton balls, so that whenever he said anything, it would just hit me like a little cute cotton ball, not like a sharp knife through my heart. So Michelle, I want to put that around you so that the boys at school, whatever happened that made you feel afraid of of what you were going to say, you can just be like, yeah, whatever. It's little cute cotton balls, doesn't get to me. Which I love as a picture. Okay, let's check you out. Crown chakra, receive light through the throat into the heart. Yeah, you feel a lot better. Feel a lot cleaner. So the energy could have been stuck there since you were a kid, you know what I mean? So now when you're trying to use your throat chakra as an adult, you're like, I can't. Because when I try to speak, people make fun of me or it was painful, okay? So what if today, Michelle, you can be accepted, loved, approved of for what you say? What if people can sit and listen to you? What if you found the power of your voice and you used it? Does that sound good? Thank you. Yeah, you're very receptive, Michelle. So that means you're going to clear blocks and energy really fast, because we've never actually met and you just let me go straight through your energy to clean you up. So you're going to be able to find blocks and clear them pretty fast. And blocks can come from obviously mom, dad, or someone else growing up and all of that. Yes, if people are like, are we going to do that in Divine Woman? We will. We will definitely. You'll know how to do it for each other too, you guys. You'll know how to tune into the light and clear each other up with the light, and use the clearing statement to clean energy and patterns. Do you want me to clear anything else since I'm here?